This is the afternoon weather briefing. This is for Friday, the 27th of December. This is James Spann, and we will discuss the severe weather threat for tomorrow evening and tomorrow night in just a second. But let's go right to the radar coming out of Mobile because we now have a tornado warning in effect that is for parts of Mobile County. This is for areas west of the city of Mobile. And again, this tornado warning is in effect until 2:45 this afternoon. And again, this is we're getting reports now from the Weather Service in Mobile that this is a confirmed tornado. In fact, what I'll do here is let's take a look at the correlation coefficient product together. And again, we're watching this area right in here, which is a lowered CC. And again, that's evidence of potential debris that's being lofted. This is north of Interstate 10 and southwest of the city of Mobile. So again, we have a tornado warning in effect now for that part of Mobile County, and this will be in effect until 2:45 this afternoon. Initially, the tornado was indicated near Grand Bay, southwest of there, and again, now it's moving on to the northeast. And we'll see if the Weather Service in Mobile decides to extend that particular warning. So at this point, let me kind of expand this out a little bit. And you can see where Mobile is located in relationship to the possible tornado in the polygon there. And again, we stress that the city of Mobile is not in the tornado warning polygon here. This polygon is for areas to the south and west of the city of Mobile. And the thunderstorm itself is moving to the northeast at about 20 to 30 miles per hour. And this is not, we want to stress, this is not the big event. The more significant severe weather threat is tomorrow evening and tomorrow night. But this is down in that area where there's a marginal risk of severe storms. And it looks as though in the last couple of frames, the rotation has weakened a bit. It's still there, no doubt. In fact, you can see it located right there. And as long as it's in there, they'll keep that tornado warning in effect. Just to kind of get your bearings straight, we've got Interstate 10, which is right there, coming up toward Tillman's Corner in Mobile. And again, Biola Battery down here is on the shore of Mobile Bay. This is the town of Theodore right here. So if you're just joining us, we're live at 2:20. And again, this is Friday afternoon, December 27th. And we will do a full briefing on the severe weather threat tomorrow here in just a second. But since we had the tornado warning in effect down in Mobile County, we thought we would go ahead and just spend a few minutes here, obviously, taking care of that. And again, the rotation continues to look pretty impressive here. We've seen it kind of come and go, but at the last volume scan, it certainly looks better. This is about 4 miles due south of the Mobile radar site that's out in the western part of the city of Mobile. And again, if it continues on this track, it will be moving through the western and northern part of the city of Mobile. If it continues on that track, and that's a big if. And again, we'll wait and see how it behaves. Now, earlier this afternoon, we had a situation just like this over extreme South Mississippi, and a small part of Mobile County was put under a tornado warning because of that, and that dissipated. That circulation went away after about 20, 25 minutes, and we'll see if this one goes away. Hopefully that's the case, but obviously if you live in the city of Mobile, especially the western and the northern part of the city of Mobile, you might want to watch this thing very carefully. And needless to say, if you're in that small polygon, what's left of it, you want to be sheltered. And of course, we advise no travel by vehicles. Nobody should be in a car in a situation like this. And we also, of course, remind everybody nobody should be in a mobile home like this. This is from the Weather Service in Mobile. The tornado is on the ground near Gold Mine and Churchill and is likely crossing Three Notch Road, and will then cross Dawes and Gold Mine roads in the next 1 to 2 minutes. And, of course, they're encouraging everybody to take cover immediately. And also they're stating the Weather Service in Mobile might have to seek shelter in the next few minutes. And if that's the case, the Weather Service in New Orleans will take over for the Weather Service in Mobile. So again, we have a potential tornado that's about to get into the western part of the city of Mobile. And again, for now, the polygon you can see just kind of clips that far western part of the city, but it could be extended further to the north and west with time here. And again, we're live at 2:22. And again, what we'll do is put back on the correlation coefficient product, and that'll be what you're seeing right above my head here. And again, the lowered CC drop is right there, and that would represent the tornado that is lofting debris. And what that means is the radar is seeing something other than hydrometeors, other than raindrops and hailstones. It's seeing something that's not a hydrometeor. It's leaves, it's a tree limb, it's debris being taken up. And it looks like in the latest volume scan, the TDS is not quite as well defined, which is a good thing. So let's go back to the radar and let's pop in the velocity product. That's storm relative, and this is the velocity itself. And the good news, it looks like on that last volume scan, the circulation is really weakened. And hopefully the Weather Service in Mobile will be able to cancel this warning soon. So again, we're here because we have a tornado warning in effect for parts of Mobile County, and this kind of clips the western part of the city of Mobile for the possibility of a tornado. In fact, the tornado was down. We know that for about 5-10 minutes. We had that debris signature. The debris signature has gone away, and the velocity looks very, very broad at this point. Quite frankly, that's not a tornado signature, so I would say there's a decent chance that the tornado has lifted now in that western part of Mobile. And, of course, we're all watching it carefully. And again, where you see the radar up there, that hole, this spot right here, that's out at the Mobile airport, and the Weather Service is located at that site, and they're obviously watching it carefully. This is what's left of the couplet, the velocity couplet. And, again, it's very ill-defined at this point, and it's moving like this, but with the Weather Service being pretty much in the polygon, there's a chance they might have to give control over to the Weather Service in New Orleans. They'll be backing them up this afternoon if that's the case. They have not done that at this point. So again, tornado warning, Mobile County until 2:45 for about the next 20 minutes. But the good news is that the radar signature is weakened a good bit. This will not affect traffic along Interstate 10, which is a good thing. Again, you can kind of see U.S. Highway 90, which is right here. And again, this would be Interstate 65, which is right here, coming into Interstate 10. But again, the good news, we just really don't see a tornado signature on radar at this point. It looks like it's clearly dissipated. In the last volume scan, it's just totally gone away. So at 2:25, with reasonable confidence, we can say that the tornado that prompted the warning has lifted. But again, we're still watching broad rotation in through here. And the Weather Service in Mobile, as a course of least regret, they might leave this warning in effect to see if it recycles. You don't want to just cancel a warning and then reissue it for a storm that's cyclic, where the tornadoes come and go. But again, for now, it looks like that's not really a tornado signature. The velocities come way down, and that's a good thing. So we'll see here. So since it looks as though the tornado is lifted, we'll come right back to it here in just a second. Let's jump ahead. This is the severe weather outlook for the rest of this afternoon and tonight. There's a marginal risk, that's level 1 out of level 5, for the southwest part of the state. The greatest concern is in southwest Alabama, where we have the ongoing tornado warning there. If you're in Tuscaloosa, Montgomery, the chance of severe weather very, very low. There's just basically no surface-based instability. Temperatures are cool. In fact, you can see Tuscaloosa sitting at 56, Greensboro at 58. You really have to get down way below Demopolis and Thomasville to get into the warm, unstable air. So we're just not overly concerned about that. Of course, the big concern, it's going to be tomorrow afternoon and tomorrow evening. This is the outlook for that. And the Storm Prediction Center, they do updates on this. On the Day 2 outlook, they do one at 11:30 Central Time, and this is the 11:30 update late this morning. And again, you can see that we have a level 3 out of 5 risk, an enhanced risk, over parts of West Alabama. This would include Reform, Gordo, down to Utah, York, Livingston, Demopolis, Grove Hill, Millreach, Choctaw County, Butler, places like that. The area's in orange on that map. And that would represent the greatest chance of tornado activity. And then we have a level 2 out of 5 risk over to near Gadsden, Talladega, Pike Road, Andalusia, and a level 1 out of 5 marginal risk for the far eastern side of the state. And the idea is that the storm should be weakening as they push into the eastern part of the state after midnight tomorrow night during the pre-dawn hours. This is the probabilistic outlook for tornadoes tomorrow and tomorrow night. And you can see the greatest tornado probabilities are in that enhanced risk area: central Mississippi, east and central Louisiana, and extreme west Alabama. Notice that the area is hatched, which means there might be a strong tornado in there. By definition, that's EF2 or higher. And the yellow, that means the probability of a tornado within 25 miles of a given point is 10 to 14%. And then in the brown, over to Birmingham, Montgomery, Decatur, the chance of a tornado within 25 miles of a given point is 5 to 9%. And then in East Alabama, numbers drop off to 2 to 4%. And then after 6 a.m. Sunday, there's a marginal risk for parts of east and southeast Alabama for some early morning storms. Those will be exiting the state pretty quickly Sunday morning. So before we go into modeling, let's quickly go back to the Mobile radar. And again, just wanted to give you some assurance here that the evidence of a tornado is gone for now. We do not have a tornado signature on radar. Technically, the tornado warning remains in effect until 2:45 for the western part of the city of Mobile. But again, there's just nothing there right now. Could it come back? Sure. But at the moment, and we just lost power here, which has nothing to do with storms. So again, I'm basically, everything keeps running for a little bit here. I don't have I don't have the bright TV lights, so, but we can stay on the air. So again, the Weather Service in Mobile, Jonathan Howell is on duty down there. Jonathan is one of the meteorologists at Mobile. He's about to type an update, so we'll kind of hold it here until he finishes the update. But I think he'll tell you what we're telling you now is the fact that we just don't see any evidence of a tornado at this point, which is a very good thing. And again, hopefully this should be the last tornado warning of the day. And whether they cancel the warning early or let it go to 2:45, we'll just wait and see. Gut feeling they will cancel it early if the volume scans continue to look like this. And we just regained the lights here, which is a good thing. So again, while we're waiting on that update, let's go through modeling on the event tomorrow. So this is going to be tomorrow. I'll tell you, before we do that, let me show you one graphic here. So let's look at updraft helicity. Sorry for the disconnection here. We got power outages and all kind of crazy things going on here. But this is updraft helicity. And again, I don't really like to show this that often in that people don't understand the product. This is not showing you where tornadoes will be touching down. But this is the updraft helicity product for the event tomorrow and tomorrow evening. And you just get the idea. The tornado potential is maximized over Mississippi and West Alabama in that enhanced risk. And this is where the conditions are most favorable for rotating updrafts and ultimately perhaps a tornado. So again, I think just that big picture kind of tells the story of the greatest potential for tornadoes tomorrow afternoon, tomorrow night over Mississippi and West Alabama. So let's go through the hourlies here. This is going to be the high-resolution HRRR. This is valid at 5 o'clock tomorrow evening. And you can see one area of rain and storms about to push into West Alabama, another one back over Arkansas and Louisiana. So here's a look at the conditions. And again, we stress this is 5 o'clock tomorrow afternoon. The instability values are very low for the northern half of the state. They're better over South Alabama. And this is the significant tornado parameter at 5 o'clock tomorrow afternoon, showing some enhanced values over parts of southwest Alabama. So let's jump ahead to midnight tomorrow night. and you can see elevated STP values. And again, STP is significant tornado parameter. That's a composite index. Enhanced values basically for Birmingham right down I-65 to Mobile. And again, the HER is showing higher instability values, and that's going to be the key to this whole thing. Can the air destabilize despite multiple rounds of storms? And we just lost power again here. It's been one of those kind of days. It's almost like a Monday on a Friday. But again, we clearly have to be ready. And again, this is what the radar could look like at midnight tomorrow night, showing a band of thunderstorms from Huntsville down to about Tuscaloosa. And so we'll watch that line, anything that forms out ahead of that line. And then by 6 o'clock early Sunday morning, the showers and thunderstorms confined to extreme east and southeast Alabama. They should be pushing out of the state by 7 or 8 o'clock Sunday morning, and they should be weakening at that point. And again, this is the latest timing graphic from the Weather Service in Birmingham, and this can be adjusted, I think. I really think the greatest tornado threat will come tomorrow night. Having said that, there could be a few storms tomorrow afternoon on that western side of the state that might be strong to severe. The broad window for most of the state, between 3 and 4 o'clock tomorrow afternoon, and then between 2, 4, 5 a.m. Sunday, early Sunday morning during the pre-dawn hours. And we should also mention, in addition to the chance of tornadoes, there could be a few storms with strong straight-line winds and hail. So again, that's the situation. So let's go back very quickly to the Mobile radar. And again, we stress that again, I'll just read right from the weather cert Jonathan down in Mobile. The tornado has likely lifted near or just along Three Notch Road. And they're asking folks to stay in their safe place for another couple of minutes or so as the storm still has potential to produce another tornado. But again, for now, obviously, there's no sign of a tornado here. So again, for those of you that are in Mobile, the tornado warning technically is in effect until 2:45 this afternoon. However, there's no tornado at this point. Again, we're live at 2:34. And hopefully we don't have another one. A pretty decent chance this is going to be the last tornado warning of the day, but there's certainly no guarantee of that. So again, let's go back and review this very quickly. I know it's been kind of a disjointed video today because of the power going off and on, the tornado warning in Mobile. But here's the idea for the rest of today and tonight. There's a marginal risk, and the main concern is far southwest Alabama. The air is cool and stable around Tuscaloosa, Montgomery, Marion, Brent, places like that. The main concern, southwest Alabama, may be an isolated severe storm that tries to rotate this afternoon or this evening, but the better dynamics will be pulling away by the evening hours. So this is not really a major threat, but still, we'll watch southwest Alabama carefully. The main concern comes tomorrow afternoon and especially tomorrow night. We have that level 3 out of 5 enhanced risk for a small part of West Alabama, much of central Mississippi, and much of central Louisiana. Areas in orange on that map. And this is the probabilistic outlook for tornadoes tomorrow afternoon, tomorrow night. And that hatched area, which is the enhanced risk, there could be a few strong tornadoes, and by definition, that's EF2 or higher. Possibly an isolated tornado over to I-65. The tornado threat really drops off in East Alabama as the air should be more stable there, just a marginal risk of severe storms there. And then after 6 a.m. Sunday, storms will likely be lingering over far east and southeast Alabama, and they should be out of the state easily by mid-morning on Sunday. And again, in terms of the timing, we'll start to watch the storms that form tomorrow afternoon, 2, 3 o'clock. But I really think in terms of the tornado threat, the higher tornado threat is going to be tomorrow night, and especially over the western half of the state. And we haven't had a tornado event in a while for the central part of Alabama. This has been our quietest year in about 40 years. So just remember, you got to be able to get the warnings. That's the key. And, of course, the baseline, it's a weather radio, NOAA weather radio. And on your phone, be sure emergency alerts, wireless emergency alerts are enabled here. That's important. And also know where you're going, obviously. In the safe place, what do you have? Helmets for everybody. And if you live in a mobile home, it's important to think about this. What if you get a tornado warning at midnight tomorrow night? Where will you go? How fast does it take to get there? Do you have transportation? And all of that's got to be factored in. You cannot be in a mobile home and you can't be safe if you're in a tornado warning polygon. And the same thing, obviously, for cars. Cars are great. Mobile homes are great, but you can't be in them during a tornado warning. So since we haven't had severe weather for a lot of you in a long time, just some things to think about. And again, the best possible case is that we have a lot of storms during the day and the air doesn't really destabilize that much, and we wind up with just some strong storms without too many problems. But having said that, there certainly could be some tornado warnings tomorrow night. All right, so let's go back to Mobile. And the good news, there is zero sign of a tornado there. We're live at 2:38. And it looks like they'll let the polygon go into 2:45, but again, there's no problem at this point. And hopefully that'll be the last one here. So what we'll do while we got the radar up, kind of expand this whole thing out. Excuse me, and you can see that we've got a batch of storms there through parts of southwest Alabama, Mobile and Baldwin counties. Moving to the northeast, thunder, lightning, heavy rain. Let's quickly go to the northern half of the state. And again, you can see Birmingham is kind of in a lull, which is good. There's a pretty big college football game going on in Birmingham. We have the Birmingham Bowl that kicked off 8 minutes ago. We've got Georgia Tech and Vanderbilt. That'll be a good game. And you can see Birmingham is dry right now. It's fine for football. Temperatures are in the 50s, nice and cool, cloudy. That second band of showers will probably pass through at some point during the game. But like we've talked about for the past couple of days, we got a few passing showers during the game, but it's just not going to rain all afternoon. It's not raining now. It's a great time for the football game. So, and again, we stress for the northern half of the state, the air is just very stable. We've got 50s. In fact, it's only 51 at Ashland, 52 at Gadsden. It's just cool. Aniana, 52. And obviously, you're not going to have severe storms with numbers like that. So no thunder, no lightning, just areas of rain coming through parts of North Alabama. The concern for, again, the rest of today and this evening, it's down here in the southwestern part of the state. And again, if you've been watching us, you know we came on with a tornado warning for Mobile County. And that warning will expire here in 5 minutes. The tornado is lifted. There is no tornado at this point, which is good. Could there be another one? Yes. I'd say it's not especially likely. But one more time, just while we're here, let's go back and take a look at the twin pane here. And you can see within that polygon there is no tornado. Zero. No tornado. So that's good. So again, we pretty much given all clear, as we have been doing for the city of Mobile for this. And at one point, we did have a TDS, a tornado debris signature. Probably a tornado did touch down southwest of Mobile, but again, it's lifted. And so at this point, there's no severe weather anywhere in Alabama. So that's the good news. So again, concerning tomorrow, again, we don't like to, if you know my style, I'm a straight shooter. I'm not one of these, your underwear flaps up and down your legs and you start screaming and everything. You got to keep a level head here. And listen, I use really strong language when it's needed. If you've ever watched me for years, you know that. But when you hear me use strong language, you know it's a big deal. And this kind of thing is very routine for late December in Alabama. This is not unusual. Alabama's tornado season is November through May. So having a threat here at the end of December, it is nothing new. Trust me. And again, technically, I'm on vacation this week, and the weather never takes a vacation. I always know almost every year at some point that week off will be totally interrupted by either snow, ice, flooding, or tornadoes. So this is very routine. And again, we'll just have a good way of getting the warnings, have a plan, and we'll be fine. We'll get through this thing together just fine. And then we get into colder air after about, as the new year comes in. We'll get into some colder air, the latter half of next week looking cold and dry. And of course, with cold and dry air, that's good in that there's no chance of any severe storms. And then the attention then turns to winter mischief. And again, we stress we see no winter weather mischief for the next 10 days here. Beyond that, there's no skill. So again, live at 2:41. The tornado warning is, again, an update from Weather Service in Mobile. They're canceling the warning now. So no need for any action. Everybody can go about their business in Mobile. And again, they mentioned that they're watching these other storms to the south. And again, you can see some thunderstorms coming up onto Dauphin Island. Look at that. Oh, yeah. Wow. So that's a supercell storm over the Gulf of Mexico. That's probably a pretty impressive water spout right there. This is the western tip of Dauphin Island right there. Just drew a circle around it, and that circulation could be pretty close. So again, kind of expand it out just a little bit. So we're looking at a tornadic circulation here, and obviously it's a water spout. It's over the Gulf of Mexico, moving like that. This is the western tip of Dauphin Island right there in that circle that I just drew. So another tornado warning could be required for the southern part of Mobile County. This is southern Mobile County. Again, this is Dauphin Island right here. And we'll keep a close eye on that thing. If it stays like that, that could certainly prompt a tornado warning. So again, if you're on the western tip of Dauphin Island, just be aware that that could be a pretty nasty water spout about to pass through there. Right off the tip of the island coming up toward the mainland coast up there, southern Mobile County. It's fairly broad at this point, but again, we'll watch that carefully. So again, we've been here a long time. The tornado warning for Mobile County is over. We are watching that supercell storm that's coming up out of the Gulf of Mexico. We'll keep an eye on that. We'll keep you posted there. And the next scheduled live update will be tomorrow morning. If you're new here, I do these things twice a day during a normal work week. In the morning about 5:15, the afternoon about 2:45, about this time. And weekends as needed. I will be doing one tomorrow morning, Saturday morning, before we get into the bigger threat day, which is tomorrow afternoon and tomorrow night. So I hope you had a good Christmas. And again, we'll talk again soon. And just keep an eye on my social media feeds for the latest on this circulation coming up toward extreme southern Mobile County. So that'll do it for now. Thank you guys for watching. Have a great evening and a great weekend. And God bless. And we'll talk soon. Bye-bye.